All right, all right. Peace, peace, and blessings. Haki, I'm here, the Success Scholar. Thank you for tuning in. Man, I wanted to do this discussion here. Just wanted to share some key insights and talk a little bit about the elections. I just had a good show. Definitely check it out with Professor James Taylor. He laid out some key analysis. But let me just say a few things now. I know I have some views and opinions. I just wanted to really address some things. But first, I wanted to mention that this weekend coming up is the Maryland Legislative Black Caucus weekend. So just wanted to drop that. You got Dr. Randall Pickett coming to town. But I spoke a little earlier, and I wanted to clarify some of my positions because someone questioned, like, why would I say some things, about, for instance, the Democratic Party and black Democrats or something, and as if you cannot necessarily address, or articulate what's going on, and like as if you're supposed to stay silent. And I do believe that, for instance, that black people have given a significant amount of energy towards the Democratic Party, and but what happened, for instance, in Maryland was a really interesting dynamic, of 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 really the disparities in terms of positions, ideological positions, but also age related issues. For instance, Ben Jealous is a younger man, and you had former NAACP presidents who did not support his campaign at all, never raised a finger, never raised a voice, never did anything. So that certainly needed to be questioned. But I'll also speak to the reality that former members, officials who have made their careers off of the Democratic Party, unfortunately have abandoned, you know, that for greater pastures. So I'm just kind of revealing some things now. There was this Negro that didn't like me sharing some of that or my positions. Just want to stymie my intellect. And so here's the thing. Let me just mention this. I've gotten some insights from holding conversation with several officials, for instance, in the Baltimore area, as well as in the whole state of Maryland, and I'm continuing to organize. And fortunately for me, I have enough good things going on with my career, my life, and films and books, and my partners that I have, created relationships with, where individuals are going to appreciate, somewhat of my character, somewhat of my integrity, somewhat of my depth of knowledge and my fiscal responsibility that I demonstrate. So I really do believe that, I'm bringing a holistic, total analysis in terms of healing to our community. So I'm not just about, just telling people to vote or anything like that. So that's not me as a whole, but, I am interested in progress, and I do believe that certain things can progress if individuals sacrifice for our community. And when that doesn't happen, the misleaders need to be called out. And with that being said, I definitely want to encourage everybody. I'll be at the caucus weekend this weekend, the 9th and 10th in Baltimore. So definitely looking forward to that. I'm sorry, in Anne Arundel County at Maryland Live, as well as in Annapolis. And so, I recently got somebody said something, and this would made me realize how petty and small, individuals, are. For those who may not know, I was elected to a position, and some people think that I should just not say anything about anything now, but sometimes you gotta say what's on your mind, and and there's a way to say things, and I'm not looking for anybody. If people want to follow other people and become or believe my growing influence is a threat to them or a threat to their comfort, their way of life, or their lack of development, then so be it. So I know it's coming. I know it's absolutely coming. And so, with that being said, as I said, this is going to be a phenomenal weekend heading to the Maryland Legislative Black Caucus, and and this is why I say I'm finishing the work of Dr. Claud Anderson and Dr. Amos Wilson. But you have many, for instance, of these so-called progressives and conscious people. They don't have no balanced understanding in terms of business, a balanced understanding in terms of organizing for massive power, massive wealth in this society. And so, fortunately for me, I'm walking these thin organizational lines in terms of my independent businesses, my social media presence, and sometimes you gotta appear like you don't have any philosophical orientations or ideologies about things. And so you have to work with different organizations, different people who have different viewpoints. And so for the most part, I'm able to keep that under wraps of sorts. I'm not able to always, I don't necessarily need to say anything, but I'm getting very particular about how I spend my time and who I spend my time with, because not everybody is going to be for, not just personal progress. Not everybody going to have the skills and the knowledge, or not everybody even going to want the knowledge. And that's what I mean by, me going here this weekend. I'm perhaps one of the only ones who has put together or at least connected to some of the analysis that Dr. Amos Wilson as well as Dr. Claud Anderson have brought out. And so, that's where, the difference between myself and many of these other individuals who have, engaged in political work. Many of them are just content looking for a job, and content they're going to have a job forever. And that's all that they want to do or want to accomplish in life. And no, I'm just thinking too big. And I know that, being a best-selling author, Mission Unstoppable, Extraordinary Stories of Failures, Blessings, the inspirational, motivational, empowering book with Les Brown and Dr. Joyce C. Frazier, I realized that, that's going to take me to another level. I know that the film Black Friday 2 is going to take me to another level. And, definitely I'm stopping. I've been hosting a radio show for the past 3 months. I mean, it got mad content, a lot more stuff and likes and views for those that say that, people not pay attention to my YouTube. But, certainly on my Facebook pages, there's a significant amount of traction, 1,700 views just on the interview with Professor James Taylor. I just did one on real estate just rather recently with Sister Dr. Dr. Lola Thompson. So that was really, really, truly great. So a lot of good things are going on, phenomenal things are going on. But, I'm really just focused, over the next few weeks, next few months, things going to be stepped up. And, I'm looking at these, funny people, in Baltimore that think that, somebody's supposed to dumb themselves down and not say anything in general and just, toe a party line. Like, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, as long as you're speaking, you're not being rude, obnoxious, or offensive, you're articulating your position, you're not being mean-spirited or hateful, I'm going to have some integrity, and I'm not going to care about the consequences like that. I'm not gonna, just go around with head down, and no, I got too many good things going on, and I promote, and I believe sincerely that my community will support the work that I'm doing and what I stand for and what I've been standing for, and what I bring, in terms of the knowledge, the in-depth knowledge that I bring. This book, Mission Unstoppable. Should it can transform our total community, but unfortunately, the so-called leaders in Baltimore, they have not, grab towards it, and that's the challenge. I posted something about reading and voting. Some people may have taken offense to that. Yes, people die for the right to vote, but people also die for the right to read. And it's unfortunate that some people may get a little offended, and about me saying something about writing, and I think that some people benefit off of people being ignorant. So this is not but you got some Negroes who would have been like slave owners. There's some black folks who would have been slave owners who are content with black people not being educated, black people not being aware, not us, being avid readers. So this is what, I got to start looking at these, and putting them in different little boxes, ideological, political, conscious boxes. Many of these individuals, particularly, you got the conservative, the Negro conservative out here, just as confused and ideologically messed up as they want to be. But then you got some others, Phi Betas and all these other, black folk that, have a identity crisis. But, of course, and this is what a revolution is. This is why, I'm asking for everybody to support, the work I'm doing as I move, more towards real estate, more towards films, and moving more towards, doing more books and, speaking more. Truly, we're going to have to build, these institutions. We're going to have to buy up our communities. And this is where, what the work I'm doing with the caucus, for instance, the Black Caucus. I'm like, look, if I need to come as independent citizens, I certainly will, and fortunately, after having a conversation, a decent, intelligent conversation with many of the leaders, it's not going to be no question. I'm not, no disrespect to, thank you, Brother Cab. It's not going to be any disrespect to any, official or anything. I know people have different types of education, but, sometimes I just do, good things for the community. And that's the problem, that some people, they just talking, they just doing social media, or they just on radio. They trying to beg money for radio shows. They want people to, support their radio shows, but they're not networking. They're not building beyond, for instance, the Baltimore market. I was just in New York, just in North Carolina, networking, connecting the dots, heading to DC this week. So, this is where the difference between, real conscious leaders and, those who are not conscious, and this is where, how I'm going to position my work. Definitely got this other film coming up, and you can see, the film trailer for the Million Man Movement, the Million Man March anniversary, 23rd anniversary. You can see the trailer. I have it a few places on my walls and my social media. But again, this is why, individuals need to support, the work that I'm doing. I posted something today, and this, sometimes people, I don't go back and forth no more, man. I just block you and delete you. If you don't want to put no respect, on what I'm doing, I'm just going to unfriend you and block you, from here on out. Because it's like, look, if you're not, you ain't serious about going forward, I got my Harriet Tubman mindset. Like, look, sometimes, you just cut people. You just 60 seconds, split second recruiting, and you go. You don't waste time, trying to teach everybody your message and what you're doing and who you are. Just like some, radio crazy talking about how many views that, I got. Let me just make this plain. Yeah, I get more views than some of these dead radio programs have listeners. Radio is dying. I could sit in my living room and do a video and perhaps reach more people by sharing, my video on, Facebook or somewhere else. But I don't have time. Sometimes I just do it and I just go, and I believe certainly, if I'm talking about Amos Wilson and Dr. Claud Anderson, some people are smart enough to know what it is. And if you merge that with potential of, say, a caucus, the Black Caucus, things can happen. Now, not everybody, that's an elected official or anything like that. They may not appreciate, some Dr. Amos Wilson talk or some Dr. Claud Anderson talk, just like in Detroit. Just like in Detroit, Kwame Kilpatrick, he didn't approve of Dr. Claude Anderson's work. But, I know that people are talking about there's a black agenda. And so, yes, that's what I'm talking about, a black agenda. So for those conservatives or for any officials that listen to any conservatives that, want weak, miseducated, regular, leadership, that's what these other people are bringing. But, I'm bringing something totally different. I'm not going to, waste my time, being around folk. I got, real estate deals I need to do. I got films I need to produce. I got, speaking opportunities. I got books to write. Just things are happening, and options are happening. And fortunately for me, I have enough decency and character and integrity and respect, and certainly I should have enough credibility to where my future certainly is going to be bright. I have a good lifestyle, holistic lifestyle that I'm promoting. Healthy eating, healthy living, healthy thinking. Treating other people, each other with respect, but also raising our consciousness and showing the injustices, showing the lack of progress that black people are not making, for instance. But some are just comfortable with that, and some just want, for instance, a position somewhere, and that's fine as well. We need positions, and but if you're not diversifying and bringing out information, constructive, empowering information, wealth building information to the community where people can grow and do better, teaching life skills and job skills, a healthy mindset, a healthy skill set, personal self-development, lifelong learning, which I totally stand for. I'm just curious, like, well, what are you doing? Just showing up. And so I'm a little different. I manage my time wisely. I'm not going to be spending zero time. And after, he's having this guy, talking this little stuff about what you can say, I'm just, well, you can't do that. I'm like, man, that's like totally disrespectful. But I'm going to switch this game up. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time, anymore, talking about token politics and all that. We're going to have to move more towards real estate, making films and speaking, as well as creating businesses, entrepreneurship businesses in the community, and working with a nonprofit. So we're going to be needing some young people between the ages of 18 and 24 over the next few weeks, next few months. Definitely next few weeks. Got a meeting coming up on the 18th to discuss, how we're going to, train some of the young people in career skills and life skills. So those are some of the essential things that are going to be happening here over the next few weeks, next few months. But, again, finishing the work of Dr. Claud Anderson, Dr. Amos Wilson, and Amos Wilson has a new book on black malehood. And I know some people, they're not gonna they're not gonna hear that. They that's intimidating for them. They scared of real discussions, more intellectual discussions. They want dummies. So they want lackeys, workers, people that just work, be comfortable and be average. So fortunately for me, I'm not average, and I'm not going to stay average. I don't live average. I don't think average. And so progress is going to be made. But I know that you're going to have people out here that want to stop the rise of the success scholar, of course. But fortunately for me, I got enough good things going on. And, I know when to pivot, when to transform, when to evolve, when to go in a different direction, when to build my skills, when to study the right things, when to invest my money into the right areas. And sometimes you just gonna have to leave some people where they are. You're just gonna have to leave some people in their little, dead lifestyle. They're not gonna like what you're saying. Don't stop posting these books. I don't want to read none of this. Why we got to be reading? That's not part of your job. You ain't supposed to be trying to teach nobody nothing. Who are you? Who you think you are? Trying to talk about reading and black folks and voting. We died for the right to vote. We ain't died for the right to read. This kind of craziness. And then some of these elders that couldn't even support the the Democratic Party candidate. They're just walking around, just smiling in everybody's face. I'm like, man, this is crazy. Nothing is going to change. Here. So again, this is why we need real conscious leaders, real black men leaders, real thinkers, real scholars, and real builders, real workers that have integrity, that have ethics, that have morality, so that they can't slander what you're saying and slander you. And this is why I'm so confident, of where I'm going and what has taken place over the last few weeks, last few months. So progress is going to be made. We just, you can check out the other documentary. The documentary that's going to be coming out, race war film, and that really opened me up in terms of understanding this global dynamic of what's going on with racism in America. It's certainly something that we, as black people, need to be aware of. And I don't give a damn any party, allegiance. I'm not trying to get you can't give me a position that's what's my potential, right? Let me just make that plain. I'm not trying to work my way up and have somebody open some door. No, I'm just going to open my own doors. I'm going to use my skills and my depth of knowledge, and I'm going to keep reading, keep studying, keep being healthy. Matter of fact, I may go running a little later. Let me go get my multivitamins and things like that. So I know that I'm going to live a long life. So many of the Phi Beta perpetrators and the Boule and whoever else that want to, if they are not conscious enough to put some respect on the rise of the success scholar, or the fake activists just crazy out their mind. Just crazy out their mind and don't want to, make any real progress, but blowing your top of your lungs on radio, yelling on radio and sounding like you ready to, your eyes about to bulge and your veins popping out your neck, yelling and calling black people names, calling everybody black names on a public radio, calling the former mayor names and the mayor, calling them all kind of names. This is the kind of people that we have, the mental health challenges that we have in the black community. People not taking care of themselves, being holistic. And so this is why, I appreciate different people for different reasons. But, it's time for real leadership. So, yes, you may like, share, and subscribe, but definitely I'll be at the Maryland Legislative Black Caucus weekend with some decent people, hopefully some healthy, holistic people. It's going to be dope. Got my two of my friends going to be coming, rolling with the Success Scholar. I definitely appreciate that. We're going to be with at the Maryland Legislative Black Caucus weekend. That's in the state of Maryland. Dr. Randall Pickett is going to be speaking in the morning, as well as April Ryan is going to be speaking in the evening. So progress is being made. I'm ready to go to another level. There's things about to happen, things about to pop for real. So I'm focused. I got a strategy going, and I'm confident, man. I'm just confident. I know what's getting ready to happen with me. I got a good history, got a good work history, good track record, and no criminal record. So I'm not worried about some of these scrubs out here that want to put me on such a lowly level because you miseducated and you don't network and don't see the work that I've done. But I'm like, hell with it, I don't need none of you scrubs, man. Straight up, I'm growing an international network, and this is why if I don't, you know, just because somebody not doing something on YouTube, certainly I can you can show up at a conference and show up at an event, at a networking event, just so I'm teaching as well as I'm sharing this. So don't think that just because if you don't have any so-called followers, not everybody's ready to hear your message, right? Not everybody is wise enough, and not everybody's going to respond. But that's where you do your demographics, your psychographics, as well as you can cultivate, for instance, an audience. Look for those that are wise. Meet people at the bookstore. Stand by some books. Yes, stand by some books and talk to people that. That's a good idea. Yeah, I used to do that years ago. It just comes back. Stand by books and talk to people that read books. Be their friend. Buy people tea and have an intelligent general conversation and say, look, let's stay in touch. So that's what I'm about. Progress is being made. Looking forward to making more moves over the next few weeks, next few months. Thanks for the few folks that do subscribe, like, and share. People that listen into this, I can't see. Sometimes I don't have my glasses, but I just want to say thank you, Madasi, Asante, for participating in this discussion today. So I'm out, y'all. Stay connected. Holler at the Success Scholar. I'm gonna do another one. I may come on with Luke Fields on 10:10 tomorrow, Thursday at 12 noon. So we gonna have a discussion. Man, it's gonna be fun. I know some folk gonna be like, why you say you can't say that, Negro? Crybabies, man. Such small-minded Negroes, man. Like, go make some money, man. Go expand your network. Stop being a crybaby, man. You so small and petty. So fortunately, I know some of my real conscious allies have my back. My real ethical, decent, healthy people gonna have my back on whatever. It's time for some real builders, real thinkers to stay connected to the Success Scholar and the rise of the Success Scholar. Like my shirt, success leaves clues. Absolutely. I'm out, y'all. Peace.